Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of the Roar Report. I am your Row2IC, and no, I'm not being targeted. That is just the way that this is my microphone light and the dim light. So it's kind of fun. Don't be alarmed by that. So I was in here doing some stuff in the pantry, rearranging, doing some things. We went out over the past day or so and got some more supplies and different things. I'm kind of rearranging, making room for everything, reorganizing, making sure everything's good. Today's kind of pantry day. So while doing so, I got the notification, which, excuse me, I need coffee. It's early in the morning while I'm making this, that Pinball put out a video. So it gave me an excuse to kind of stop for a minute and watch. And then he brought up some good points, which I'm going to kind of bring up in my video. But we found out the reason why Pinball did not do his live last night, which he was sick. So, Pinball, if you by any chance watch this, I hope you feel better, and hopefully things will go better. And Mrs. P is taking good care of you. So, with that being said, I'm going to grab my notes and we'll go over the few things that I want to bring up, which, by the way, congratulations to the winner of last night's giveaway. They reached out to me. I've got it packaged up. I will get that in the mail to you Monday. So you will receive that shortly. And then two, the putting the little things up here seems to have worked if I don't do it. As I've been putting the little pieces up, my views seem to go down. So I stopped doing it in the last video, and my views went right back to normal. So again, in this one, I'm not going to do it, and we'll see if that trend holds. So let's start. Last night, Israel bombed with what appears, unconfirmed, what appears to be a bunker buster style bomb on the Aleppo airport in Syria. Israel says that they are targeting that airport because they have intelligence that Iran is trying to send strategic weapons so that way it can be a new front of war opened. Now, with that, and you know, if you look into that, Iran has the means, they have the funds, they have the weapons and different things to be able to send over. They are not backing Israel. The U.S. is backing Israel. So the U.S. is sending weapons and different things to help Israel. Iran is backing Hamas. So they're going to do basically what the U.S. is doing, just for the other side. So I look for a lot of those airports to be continually struck. I don't know how long that's going to hold, because you can only be struck so many times before air defense systems start coming in, different things like that. They're going to take a defensive stand on this. Plus, bringing things over by air is going to be the much quicker means, but it's not the only means. You can bring in supplies and weapons and different things like that by other means. It's slower. So the quicker way is to fly it over. You can get it there pretty quickly, but there is, plane, train, bus, whatever. There's other, ways to get it there. I'm sure it's probably already on the way. They were just trying to get it there quicker. So, from all indications, this is going to be a very long, drawn out, unless something just escalates and everybody joins in, and things. But then again, if everybody does join in, it probably will continue to be a long, drawn out thing. So with that, there is the Israeli Channel 14 News has went on and reported that the war with Hezbollah has begun. So that would be another indicator on why they are continually going into different things of like Syria and the Lebanese border and things like that. It's just a bunch of data points, a bunch of indicators. Now, Israel has said that the ground offensive is being delayed due to weather. Now, that would make sense because moving anything heavy, moving a large amount of equipment and people and things like that, That's not fun to do in heavy downpours. That's not fun to do in the real deep snow and mud and things like that. If you go study any type of war, one of the major factors is weather. Um, there was a lot of things on D-Day about weather. Take a look more recently into the Russia-Ukraine conflict, that weather was one of the big factors on something. You can plan and do everything, but weather turns and it can make you speed things up or delay some things. So it makes sense. The only thing that doesn't make sense um, is when I went to check the radar, I don't really see anything. Now, I have seen the different things about there's parts of Tel Aviv that is underwater that has been flooded. I don't know the cause of that. I don't know if that's weather related because I can't really see too much that would cause that. There was some rain, but I'm not a meteorologist, so I don't know if that was a heavy enough downpour or something happened or some water main break or anything. It's hard to get factual news that you can concrete in because both sides are going to say something. A quick example of that was there was an outpost attacked. There's a flag. You can see the flag in the distance. One side says, hey, that's this person's flag. The other side says, no, that's that person's flag. And it's one of those ones. It's the same picture, but there's multiple different sides of the story. So it's one of those ones. Doesn't matter who you listen to. It doesn't matter who you're reading the report or whatever news or whatever organization, whatever online content creator. Take it on both sides. Read all the different ones, and then go decide for yourself. Don't take one person or one organization and think that is absolute concrete truth. The way that there's manipulation, the way that there's photo editing, the way that there's AI and different things. They've already had one that came out that it was an AI generated picture that was proven that it was false. So there's a lot out there. Just be very careful and make sure that you take in as much information as you can and you do critical thinking for yourself so that way you can. This is going to be something that political and ideology and all the different aspects of this is going to be a really big mind game on everybody. So I really implore you that this is going to take a very big mental toll. So prepare yourselves for that. It's part of prepping is getting your mental aspect. So Iran has come out and has officially threatened that in the coming hours of events, Iran will not remain a spectator. Now, again, we've said this in multiple videos. Words are words. You can use them in a threat just like this, but until there's an action behind it, just words. You can say anything you want. I mean, I can say, hey, I can fly like Superman. Okay, it's a statement. It's just words until I actually go and jump off and do it. It's nothing more than that. So I've tried to get people to take, when you hear these threats or when you hear these, different rumors and whatever, to remember to wait for an action, because until then, it's nothing. It's just a little data point. Move on. Do not get emotionally caught up into it. Next is going to be Egypt informs the United States that no foreigner is going to be permitted to enter until aid can go into Gaza. Now that puts the United States into a very interesting chess match, because the United States wants to help out Israel. They want to give them supplies and different things like that, and they've already come out and officially given the green light to do whatever Israel is going to do. The trick with that is that there is Americans there, there is innocent people there, and for humanity reasons, you want them to get out and get to safety. Well, the only way really out is down through the pass to get into Egypt. Egypt has now moved their people up. Now they've already put out a bunch of pictures and officially come out. They have hundreds of vehicles filled with supplies of medical, food, water, all that that is ready to go in to give humanitarian aid. But they are waiting, kind of on that thing. They don't want to go in and get bombed. They don't want to go in and create a big slaughter area. So they've got everything lined up. They're ready to go. Now they put out their move. You want people to come down here. Our condition is we want to be able to go in. So now the United States has to figure out how to counter that. So it's going to be interesting today, tomorrow, in the coming days to see how all that's going to play out. Now it's going to be a time thing because the food, the water, the supplies, the electricity, things like that's already been cut off. So it is now coming down to a time game because you don't have a whole lot of time. Plus the ground offensive, plus this and that and everything else. So they're going to have to make a decision very, very quickly. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of folds out on that. Now, I'm going to end this with kind of a thought exercise. So let's say that this becomes a regional conflict. Let's say that Hezbollah joins. Let's say that Syria, Iran, any of those organizations, they all kind of come in, and you kick off a really big regional. So what would that mean? Now I sat down and I kind of pinned out a thing. You have people that's already come out and kind of officially taken sides. Most of OPEC, if not all of OPEC, has come out and are supporting Palestine, which would likely mean that OPEC would embark in an oil embargo. They would just enact an oil embargo, and probably you would get a big stop in the flow of liquid natural gas. That, in and of itself, would create a huge surge in the energy costs. So that is going to be something that not only hits Europe, but that would hit the United States as well. We don't have enough. Our strategic oil supplies is way, way down. We're already sending out oil instead of refilling our stockpiles. We're already sending out liquid natural gas. To be all these countries that rely on that to be completely shut off, we don't have enough for ourselves, let alone to be able to supply Europe and all these other places with all this. You would likely see pretty quickly, if this was done, the price of energy to double, triple, maybe even go, 4 or 5 times as much. I think last time I checked, we were at like $91, $92 a barrel for oil. If they enacted an oil embargo, it would not be out of the realm of possibility to see $250, $300 a barrel. That means that it would be 3 times ish for the price of gas. So if right now you're paying $4 or $5, well, now you're going to be paying $12 to $15 a gallon for your gasoline. Not to mention diesel, not to mention, you have heating oil, if you have liquid natural gas to heat your home, things like that. Something like this, it's a possibility. So if you heat your home with anything along those lines, which I would say probably most of you watching this, heat your home with some sort of heating fuel, with electricity, with liquid natural gas. If everything goes up to where it's 2, 3, maybe more times the price of what you're paying now, are you prepared to stay warm for the winter? Do you have a plan B, a plan C? We already went over this in another video. You need to have multiple plans for everything. But to continue on with our thought exercise, Iran has already, made all their threats and different things, so they would join in. Iran could possibly close the Strait of Hormuz. Now, if they do that, that's a huge, huge trading corridor. So that would do a whole damper on a bunch of other things besides just oil and things like that. And then you would probably have some of these other countries become emboldened by it. So China can become involved, and they can become involved economically, or they can become involved militarily. So they can either supply, they can stop supplies. They would probably go in and take Taiwan, and that would be a really bad thing with all the chips and different other things. Plus, it would give them a very big strategic military place. Uh, then you would have different ones. So you would have like North Korea would probably go into South Korea, probably with China's help. It would be a very big strategic, move for China to be able to use South Korea as a jumping off point. Who knows? You might get into where they go after Philippines. They might go after, Japan or anything like that. Now, this is all just a thought exercise. This isn't something that, anything behind it. Just something to think about. You have so much that can escalate, so many things that can happen. Now, when we started with the thought exercise, you had OPEC, you had liquid natural gas, you had the Strait of Hormuz. Those are all likely things that, if things go, of the little cascading effects, of the cause and effect. This happens, so this happens. Is it happening now? No. Is the looming threat of it there? Not yet. Not a cause for panic, but it's definitely a possibility that you need to take serious. If this happens, what are you going to do about it? Are you prepared for it? This is not the time to go, I have time, I get a bonus in a month or two. I'll use that. What happens if you don't have that time? What happens if something happens before that? Are you going to be able to get to and from work if the price of gasoline doubles or triples? Are you prepared for that? Do you know what you're going to do if that happens? Now, as of right now, doesn't look like it. Looks like, things are, because of the Middle East conflict, excuse me, and the way that Saudi Arabia is starting to get into it, the way that, Russia's obviously not a big fan of the United States right now. These are, major players in OPEC and oil. So the price of oil will probably continue to go up. Are you prepared for that? So just a little thought exercise for this Sunday morning. Happy Sunday to everybody. If you're new to this channel, welcome. This is a channel for people that are just getting into preparedness, or the people that, kind of thinking about it on the fence or whatnot. This channel was created so it can help you. So we will do some more going back into prepping. This is just a major conflict to where I wanted to get some news out to you, and I will continue to do so. I know not everybody wants to hear this news because everybody's kind of covering it. So I'm going to try and flip flop, go back and forth. So look out. I've got some different content that I'm going to be releasing soon. So with that, guys, just remain calm. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep prepping. Keep building your supplies. Go through your pantry. Go through everything. Try and keep a level head about everything that's going on. If you have any questions, comments, anything, leave them down below. Send me an email or whatnot. More information to come. Just remember to remain united because we're all prepping in this together.